Welcome everyone to the 2018 WRT Longhorn Open. I'm Laura McCormick with the World Racquetball Tour, and today joining me on the mic is Scott Schaefer. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Laura.
We have a fantastic event for you tonight, the semifinals with David Horn, #1 on the WRT down there in that maroon gearbox shirt and black hat. And he's taking on Jake Bredenbeck in the back of the court with the black t-shirt. These guys are not only battling to see who will go on to the finals tomorrow at 12 noon, but I know they're in a personal battle to see who has the better beard.
The better beard.
The better beard.
Well, so far, I think that Jake's won that award. He's kind of, he's from Minnesota. He kind of reminds me of Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
Big, stocky, big beard.
He's proud of that beard.
He looks like he'd be hauling firewood around, in the wintertime. He's a great racquetball player, though.
Well, it's funny. These guys are friends off the court as well. And actually, Horn was just in Minnesota, and they literally were chopping wood together. No joke.
Okay. Well, that's the kind of weather they're having up there.
They are. Looks like it starts off with a side out for Bredenbeck. So Bredenbeck just played Alex Cardona in the quarterfinals earlier today, and he beat him in 2, 15-14, 15-3.
That's a good win for him.
Clean down the line winner for Bredenbeck, gives him his first point. Oh, that makes 1-1. Nice return from Horn. David Horn had a tiebreaker earlier today. He played Christian Longoria, the number 8 seed this weekend, and won in the tiebreaker 11-9. It was a little tight there.
That was quite a battle they had.
Another point for Horn. 3-1.
Bobby's got some of the best footwork I think you'll see on the WRT. Really agile, sets his feet quick, and can shoot on the run very well.
Horn with a 4-point run. It's 5-1. Getting him so quick there. Oh, man. From so deep in the court, 38 feet winner.
Yeah, that's a really tough shot right there. That's another good one.
Man, Horn answers back with a shot from deep in the court.
I think Jake thought it might have skipped in the crotch of the wall and the floor there, but I think it was good.
One of the more recent times these two matched up was in November at the Rocky Mountain Open. That was a tough match. Horn winning that one.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jake definitely looking for a little bit of revenge, although Jake has the winning record, 7-6. So they're pretty tightly matched. Oh.
That was a well-placed ball. Just died in the back corner there.
Nice shot from Horn. Puts us at 7-1 in game 1. Smooth return for Bredenbeck. Let's see if he can get some more points here.
See if Jake can get a little run going here.
Nice wallpaper serve.
Oh, nice touch. A rare touch shot there from Jake. He likes to rip the ball, but that one he just touched in there for a pinch.
Yeah, I like when the power guys switch it up and show us something different like that. 2-7.
Tough shot. Oh, tough. There's another touch shot from Jake. He's kind of switching things up a little bit and dinking some shots in there, using some finesse.
Yeah, it's got to be tough when you know each other so well on and off the court. You got to, at some point, do some of those mix-ups, right? Jake's known for that power, and we know he has more in his tool belt, so it's nice to see him mix it up.
Yeah. He was going for the crotch there. Almost got it.
It's got to be hard when you have so much power, too, not to overhit it, right? You have to have so much control and accuracy when you're that powerful.
A nice serve. Barely sneaked over the line there. And there's another nice touch pinch from Jake. He's using a lot more touch than I've seen him use in the past. Pretty impressive.
Oh, serving 7.
Yeah, he was looking for a little bit of a streak here. He got 2 points. Let's see if he can keep it going. 4-7. Nice serve.
5, serving 7.
A lot of ceiling balls here.
Yeah, they're playing really patient.
Oh, Horn skips it. Point for Bredenbeck. 6-7.
6, serving 7.
All right, now we got a semifinal here.
Well, you watch that, how low Jake's taking that ball off the floor. I mean, there's not more than an inch. He's letting that thing drop and hitting it right at the last minute. Another nice touch shot there.
He'll take that little bit of luck. Puts him at 8-7.
That ball, yeah, that.
Oh, he calls a screen serve.
It was a good serve. It was barely over the line, but I think it was a little too close to his body there. Yeah, Jake got himself out of position on that one, and Bobby had an easy reverse pinch there.
Yeah, Jake had a 7-point run there to bring him up to 8-7. Good pickup. I feel like Jake was kind of just keeping that ball up in play. Like he was either just going to wait for the perfect setup or let Horn make his own mistake. Looked like it paid off for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Jake's found a little bit of rhythm now.
Second serve for Bredenbeck. Switches it up to the other corner. Oh, so low.
That ball was not only a quarter of an inch off the ground, it crotched in the corner. That's why it came back so slow. Some people might have thought that skipped, but it was actually a crotch, a very good pinch crotch. Nice touch there. I think he was tempted to really rip that ball, but he held up and just didn't, went straight in. Caught Bobby way out of position.
I like the control that Bredenbeck looks like he has right now. That's really changed the momentum in this game without like throwing a lot of intensity into it, which is, usually we see that fire from Jake and he gets really fired up. So interesting control from him right now. I think it was frustrating Horn a little bit. Skip. That breaks the 9-point run that Bredenbeck had. Now Horn's at 8-10.
That
was a
looked
little
like
close. Yeah,
it looked like it might have skipped. I think he just kind of put a little side spin on that shot that made it come off the wall a little bit different.
Brandon Erman, Hayden Akins, court 2. Brandon Hayden Akins, court 2.
Horn ties it up 10-10. I feel like Horn is keeping the ball on Jake's backhand right now. Really working that in these rallies. Let's see.
They're both doing a good job of keeping these ceiling balls off the back wall and making it hard to shoot from shoulder height. I know Jake's tempted to shoot a lot of those, but he's playing pretty patient.
Right, I would agree. 11-10. Oh,
yeah.
Good shot. It's like the second one he shot from that back left corner.
Yeah, that's a crazy shot. Not many people can generate the power to hit that shot from that height.
Jake gets it. Oh.
Side out. On service.
11 serving 10. It's a short serve, so he'll serve a second.
Side out.
So Bredenbeck has 5 titles of his own here on the WRT, and he won 4 of those titles in 2015 and 1 title last year at the Denver Open in 2017. Meanwhile, Horn is the exact opposite. Horn won 1 title in 2015 and won the other 4 titles in 2017. So these guys kind of flip-flopped, but they're still so evenly matched. All right, they're just getting some clarity on the score. Horn saying he thought he heard 10-10, but it's 10 serving 11.
You notice what Bobby did on that. Instead of let the ball drop and let Jake get into position, he came at it early and hit it downwardly to keep Jake from getting into position.
First time out on the court, which means this is a great opportunity for us to thank the sponsors for making this event possible and bringing not only the World Racquetball Tour here to Austin, but for having events like this. We'd like to start off by thanking Cox & Core Wealth Management. They do a lot of financial planning, but you haven't seen it like this before. They cover every angle of your financial world, creating a map to help you make smart financial decisions. Whether you're about to retire, taking on a new job, going through a divorce, or dealing with any other life-changing events that involves your finances, reach out to Cox & Core Wealth Management. We'd also like to thank FixMyRacket.com. They can do pretty incredible things to save your racket, and they're usually at events. You can find them stringing here as well, so go to FixMyRacket.com for more information. And Gulf Coast Graphics, they have you covered when you need something printed. They got vehicle wraps, signs, banners. You get quality work and great service at the same time. Visit their website for details so you can cover all your printing needs. Coming back into the match, it's game 1 of our first semi of the evening. Coming up after this, we have Eduardo Garay versus Rodrigo Montoya. That should be an interesting matchup. They are both from Chihuahua, and the last time they matched up on the WRT was in June at the Chihuahua Open. Those guys also train together just like Jake and Bobby down there on the court.
Oh. That was a lucky shot there. Jake got away with one. Jake trying to jam serve there, a little bit long. Like that ball skipped. It was looked good for a second there, but it skipped in. Bobby knew it right away.
12 serving 11.
Bredenbeck in the lead now, 12-11.
Oh, tough shot.
Super clean down that line. Another point for Bredenbeck, 13-11. Now Horn had a 7-2 lead early into game one. 7-1 lead, and Bredenbeck went on a 9-0 scoring streak.
Ball broke.
Broken ball, they'll swap that out. So Scott, give us just a little bit of insight as to your history with racquetball. I understand you've been playing for a long time.
Well, I started when I was 9, and I'm 56. So if you do the math, it's a long time. So yeah, I started out playing as a kid at the YMCA in Minnesota, where Jake's from, and my dad was playing, and I started tagging along to tournaments, and the next thing you know, I was hitting in the courts between matches, and that's kind of where it all started.
13-11. Another skip. Game point now for Jake Bredenbeck. Second serve for Jake Bredenbeck.
The shuttle is now at the rec center. The shuttle is now at the rec center.
Another ceiling ball battle. Ooh, I thought Jake got that. It looked like he made it. That'll be a side out, though. It's 11-14.
Yeah, I think Jake, if it had been 14 all, I don't think his reaction would have been the same. He got a little bit of a lead.
Oof. It's a good serve. Horn has him right up against that wall.
That cracked out. Bobby seems to have such good anticipation. You know, he seems to almost read Jake's mind, know where he's going with it. Reactions are really good. Bobby just took a little heat off that one and kind of went in at about 80%, and I think he surprised Jake.
That's going to take us to 13-14. Pretty intense. I mean, we know these guys know each other pretty well. We've seen a bunch of momentum shifts. These guys are going with a lot of ceiling balls, waiting out on patience.
Jake's asking if there's a light hinder. Question here is on Jake's return. He thought that the ball hit the edge of the light, causing it to fall short of the front wall. And I guess they're replaying that as a light hinder.
A court hinder.
Now Bobby's saying you didn't call that right away. What's up? I'll interpret. Are you calling the game or is Jake calling the game?
I think that was an exact, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I know, but he said it was for Hitler, but I didn't call it.
Yeah, they're good. Bobby's a good sport. I think he knows that probably was a court hinder.
I think he's just frustrated, though, because if the ref saw it and didn't call it, then he has to let that call stand. But
Yeah.
Bobby's got to make sure this doesn't get in his head too, you know?
I think Bobby's messing with him now.
Yeah.
He's saying, didn't it hit that wire in the crotch? Oh. Bobby's got another chance here.
"12 serving 14.
Nice shot right there.
You know, it's interesting. We're up here on like the second level. There's 2 levels here at the gym, and I feel like one of the things that we've really been able to see up here is a lot of foot faults. So that's something to maybe look out for. It hasn't been called too much in this match, or well, all day really, but
Yeah,
it's tough to see.
well, the official rule is that they're not supposed to leave. They're not supposed to step out of the service zone until the ball that they served passed short line. And so there's a lot of them that are really kind of close. Bobby does it on his backhand Z serve quite a bit. He'll step out before the ball's crossed the short line.
Yeah, so those are those international rules. They're played by the IRF rules. A little different from the USA rules.
Oh, that was an unlucky bounce there for Jake. I'm surprised Bobby didn't hit that one into the back wall.
Yeah.
He let that one come around. It just didn't come off enough.
Got quite a match here. It's 14-14.
Jake skipped that last one there.
So Horn takes that one 15-14. That'll take us right into game 2. Let's see what shifts and momentum and ceiling ball wars we get into going into game 2. We'll be back in just a few moments with more of our WRT Longhorn Open. We're back and thanking some sponsors here at the WRT Longhorn Open, starting with Chuck Greason. We'd like to thank him for supporting this event. He's been practicing civil and criminal law for over 40 years, and his experience is unparalleled. He works with individuals and small businesses throughout Texas and the USA. So if you're dealing with any dispute or contract negotiation, or maybe you got yourself in a little trouble with the law, then Chuck is the man that you need to call. Check out his website for more information. That takes us next to Splathead. If you're looking for cutting-edge sportswear that you can wear both on and off the court, then splathead.com is where you want to go. They also provide sponsorship grants to players, and they're a nationwide supporter of tournaments. So when you buy Splathead, you're pretty much helping make all of that happen. Getting back into the match, it's game 2. Horn winning game 1, 15-14. Sneaking out that win by all those hairs on his chinny chin chin. Bredenbeck starts off serving.
Side out. 0-0. Second serve.
Pretty short for Horn. He'll get a second. Reach, set up. Horn puts it down and gets the first point in game 2. Now, I think in game 1 we saw Horn going after Jake's backhand. I expect we'll see that again in game 2.
Bobby plays. He's real patient with his touch game. He doesn't get all wired up and wound up and not able to control himself. He keeps calm and brings that power out when he needs it. But to that point, he seems to just really maintain his calmness.
Look at a replay.
Yeah, I think Bobby had a shot at that ball. Had a big tree in the way.
Yeah. Deep roots. Gets there.
Nice. Now that's where strong wrists come into play. Just a snap of the wrist, he was able to rip that ball back across court.
Let's take a look back at that last point. Jake really covering a lot of the court. Look at that long reach he has. And the
Most
wrist
people
flick.
right there, most people would have gone down the right line, but he came across with it.
Right. Yeah, I heard the ref say 3-1, although I thought it was 3-0, and Horn thinking the same thing. Oh, okay, it is 0. There's the first point for Bredenbeck. Down the line, right on that glass for a side out for Horn. So these guys have matched up many times before. Oh, a little wall climbing. I've seen that from David Horn.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you how many times these guys have met in tournaments. I'm sure it's in the many double digits.
Well, I know at least here head-to-head on the WRT, they've matched up 13 times, and Jake has the winning record, 7-6.
Can't get any closer.
Yeah.
There's no ties in racquetball, so.
Right. And the last time these guys matched up was just in November. They faced each other at the Rocky Mountain Open, where Horn pulled off the win. So Horn had quite a 2017 himself. He finished the year #1, squeaking that out right at the last tournament at the Alamo City Open in December, so which means he ended 2017 as the player of the year.
And who did he overtake at the end?
He just snuck by Rodrigo Montoya, who was #1 for most of the 2017 season.
Okay.
And he's a semifinalist here today. We'll see him against Eduardo Garay coming up next.
Bobby's got such quick hands, but he couldn't get him out there quick enough to pick up that rip from Jake.
I think one of the really important things between these two guys is their attitude and their emotions out there. You can see Bobby trying to keep himself calm. We haven't seen Jake let anything run away because they know each other so well, so they sort of know how to frustrate each other
Yeah.
and how to play that. And I think that's why we're seeing so much patience out there on the court from both of them. Ooh.
Going for broke on that one. That was a tough shot.
4-3 in game 2. Very tight game 1. And looks like it's the same tone in game 2.
Side out. Serving forward. Point.
That's going to tie it up, 4-4. Horn really keeping Bredenbeck moving, too. He's going after that backhand. He keeps playing him deep in the court and then short in the court.
Oh, that was a tough pinch right there from Bobby. Beautiful. He took a lot off it, put it right in the corner. Bobby seems to really be controlling the flow of the rally.
6-7-4.
It looks like Bredenbeck was going for something off speed there, but it didn't work out.
No. He had Bobby out of position. Just mishit it. Call that a short serve.
Some of that heat we're used to seeing from Bredenbeck.
Yeah, Bobby was trying that overhead backhand from a little too deep. That's a hard shot to hit. And Jake was right there to put it away.
These are two of the more experienced players on the WRT too. And there's a lot of similarities between them. They're both members of Team USA. Mm-hmm. They both have 5 WRT titles.
That's a nice shot.
And they both actually formerly suffered from the same injury. They both, in their lifetime, have torn their labrums in their right arm. For Bobby, it was about 5 or 6 years ago. And I believe he actually had surgery to correct it. That was about 8 years ago. Whereas for Bredenbeck, it was in 2015 that he injured his arm, 16. And he avoided surgery, so a little bit of a difference between the two.
Did they both suffer the injury playing racquetball, or doing something else?
Yes, both from racquetball, yeah.
Just from overuse or hitting the wall? Or
I think for Bredenbeck, it was at the U.S. Open. He dove and fell wrong on his arm. So I know that we haven't seen it, since he's come back. Mm-hmm. I guess at the beginning of 2017, we haven't seen him diving. That's one thing that I know his USA teammates are saying. You won't catch him diving because that could be very detrimental to his future.
To the team, too, you know.
Yeah. But Bredenbeck had then been training with his left hand, and so he's talked about how all of that really forced him to go back to basics and looking at mechanics and kind of retraining himself a little bit.
Yeah.
To make it cleaner and not re-injure himself.
I could see that, yeah. Nice down the wall shot there from Bobby.
8-2.
Short serve. Horn will serve again. A second serve. Another point for Horn.
9-7-5.
Jake looks like he might be a little tired.
10-75. Point.
Horn looking a little comfortable out there. I'm surprised Bredenbeck hasn't called a timeout.
Yeah, I thought for a minute there he was going to when he came back to the returner's position. It looked like he might take a timeout, but I guess not. Nice shot.
Side out.
I think that's sometimes Jake's playing style, though. You think he needs a timeout, but he wants to wait it out. And there he gets the side out. 5-11.
That's a nice shot right there.
6-11.
I think Bredenbeck proving he didn't need that timeout. He seemed to turn something up there.
Yep.
7-11.
Oh, Bobby got a little bit lazy on that pinch. He didn't. He didn't swing all the way through it like he seems to usually do, and Jake was sitting up there to take advantage of it. Tough. Nice tight pinch there from Jake. He's creeping back in this. Timeout by Bobby.
Yeah, that momentum really taking a shift here as Bredenbeck scores 4 points in a row, keeping that pressure on Horn. Horn calling the timeout. Bit of a different style there from Bredenbeck. He's going to go ahead and take that break. We'd like to thank the main sponsor of this event, Gearbox Sports. The official ball of the WRT is the Gearbox Black Ball. And we would also like to thank the Texas Racquetball Association. They actually just launched a new website, so you can go there to get the tournament information and latest news. Whether you're a novice or a pro, the TXRA has something for everyone. And it's also a great source for rankings, statistics, and direct links to R2 Sports. There's even an interactive map where you can find places to play, which I imagine is very, very helpful. So you can get involved now at txra.org. Coming up after this, we have another semifinal between number 2, Rodrigo Montoya, and Eduardo Garay, who took out Gerardo Franco in the round 16s, and then in the quarterfinal today took out Andre Parilla in a tiebreaker. So well, that should be a pretty interesting match. Garay and Montoya last met in June, where Montoya was the victor, and that was both on their home soil in Chihuahua. They're both training partners together. So that'll be another interesting match. There'll be some players who know each other very well, just like we have down here.
So
Jake and Bobby.
can we say they're the big dogs in Chihuahua?
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Had to. You just
had to
had to
say
go
that.
for it, though. Why not?
Oh, so there's another one. Okay.
Point.
Actually, I think we have the biggest representation from Mexico with the Chihuahua players.
Oh,
There's
okay.
7 of our 32 pros here this week
from
are
Chihuahua.
from Chihuahua.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so big team from there. Second serve for Jake Bredenbeck. Oof.
Point.
It's a big slide, but a point for Bredenbeck. Let's take a look back at that point. I feel like in game 1 and earlier in this game, Horn was really attacking Bredenbeck's backhand, but now his balls are sort of coming back to the middle too much. And it's kind of leaving things too open for Bredenbeck, which is good for Jake. It's 11-11.
Yeah, he's mounting a nice comeback here. Bobby is just all over the court. Oh, that's tough. He got a crack at the end there. I mean, for him to pull the ball around him the way he did like that and then crack it out, that was a really good shot.
Puts Bredenbeck in the lead now, 12-11. And these players are, you know, no stranger to the pressure. In fact, Bredenbeck, I saw him make one of the greatest comebacks in the history of WRT when he was playing in Denver. He had gotten a technical. He was playing Rodrigo Montoya. He got a technical and came back to win from -110.
Oh, wow.
Came back to win the entire match.
I thought that might have been 2 bounces in the back there. Bobby barely scraped that one off the floor.
Side up. 11 seconds.
Jake was so hustling to get into position, he wasn't looking back to see. So I don't think he questioned that call. But it looked to me like Bobby might have taken a couple bounces on that. There you go.
Jake won the first. Jake won the first. Yeah, we're on scorecard.
12 seconds.
No, he did.
Point.
He came off shaking his head through his racket.
13 seconds. 11. Point.
It. It's like we have some moisture on the floor there, maybe a little dive or something.
Yeah, we noticed earlier today the floor was pretty slippery out there. But these guys do a pretty good job of taking the, making sure it's all dry. Timeout for David Horn. We'll take a quick break here, but we'll be back in just a moment with more of the WRT and Longhorn. Match point now for Jake Bredenbeck.
Looks like Bobby's doing a little breathing exercise or something there in the back court before this serve.
Yeah, that was a method we really saw him using in 2017 to stay calm, and he had a great year, so I guess it was working for him. Oh, it looked like he was out of the way. I think they're gonna replay. So
basically, if he takes away his offensive shot, that's an avoidable. That would have been match right there. I think they're just being good sports. He cracked out that serve.
There it is. Bredenbeck wins 15-14, 15-11, which means Bredenbeck will be moving on to the finals tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Time. We'll be live streaming that. Fantastic match between these two, friends on and off the court, but that was a really tough match.